Startup Unscripted. The questions you have with the truths you need to hear.
And now your host, Michael Dinsio.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. Hey, let's do this. Hey, guys, thanks for joining us. This is Startup Unscripted, a brand of podcasts that deliver great unscripted content for the startup and for the acquisition. If you guys haven't tried our acquisition side, it's Dental Acquisition Unscripted, and it's all about that acquisition side. If you guys are thinking about getting into ownership, bounce back and forth, because both options are very good options, and we're just delivering great episodes like today. And this particular episode is part of the Encore series. And so for folks that are just kind of getting into it here, if it's an Encore series, it's kind of a very important topic, but it's not necessarily part of that core thing, the things you need to do to get into ownership. Although today's episode is probably borderline, and we're discussing all things social media. And today we've got two really experts in the industry that really own the space, in my opinion. And I'll just get into the introductions right now. We've got Blake and Adrian from My Social Practice, and I'm excited to interview you guys. So you already heard the energy. Adrian's ready to roll right now.
Let's go. Hurry.
Let's go. Exactly. So Blake, Adrian, whoever wants to take this, tell us a little bit about My Social Practice. I've already kind of teed it up here, but why don't you take it from there?
I'll give you a quick 30-second spiel. So we've been in the business for 13 years, working specifically with dentists, mostly English-speaking, United States, Canada. We do have a few clients in English-speaking countries, but almost everybody's in North America. And we are a full digital marketing agency, although we're going to be talking about, just social media today, which is kind of our primary, and that was our first product, and that's the product that most people know us about. We do offer all the other digital marketing services. So we've got about 30 employees. We're all over the country. We got a couple in one in Spain, one moving to Argentina, I think.
Dang.
So we've gone international, man.
These guys are international.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I think there's a certificate in the mail that's going to show up, and we're going to be able to put it on our wall or something. So
awesome. It's like you got the world, the map, and then you got one pin. Got one pin here, and the rest of the pins. That's right.
We worked with over 7,000 practices.
Dang,
we worked with a lot of practices, and we really understand the industry well. We know what works with social media, so that's who we are.
I love it, Blake.
I'm the hairy version of My Social Practice. Blake is the no. Do you see how his hair?
It's beautiful.
Freaking perfect.
It is perfect. We actually just talked.
It's real, dude.
Adrian, we actually talked about his hair. The three before the show, audience here, folks, friends. We were talking about gray in general, and I'm like, gosh, I'm starting to lose mine. Your line is perfect. I said your line's perfect, and I said I'm probably older than you, and he said his age, and I'm like, damn it, I'm exactly the same age. So, folks, if you're on YouTube, you're watching this, you'll understand what's happening here. But
I can't beat those cool dreads though that Adrian's got. That's pretty sweet.
That is sick. That is sick. Blake, what do you bring to the table here? I mean, it sounds like Adrian's running the company. We got Seth, who is not joining us. Blake, give us a little bit of what your history is.
Yeah, so my background is in the ad agency, creative director world. Is kind of where I started. I was working at ad agencies, and then I wanted to start my own thing, and I was doing some design and consulting, marketing work, and I picked up some dental clients, and that's kind of where we started. This was when Facebook was first starting, and we saw the writing on the wall that let's create a social media marketing service for dental practices, a very specific niche that we found.
Yeah.
And we kind of led the industry in that space. And we still do, but we were kind of the first to that space, which was kind of cool.
I remember the first Facebook account like when in the very beginning, I was in college, you had to have folks, most of you don't know this, but you had to have an edu email to get Facebook. Remember?
Yeah.
So I was one of the first for sure. And it's cool because it's obviously such a big topic for anybody that's trying to get their brand and their name out there. the impact and the authority it probably provides as a brand digitally is super important. I'm assuming you guys are going to get into some of this stuff. So how actually let's lead with that. How important is social media as you're coming up with brand and website and all the crap you have to do, right? to start a business? I feel like some of my clients don't appreciate how important social is. Can we talk about that? How important is social to the grand landscape of branding, website, all the things?
Go, Blake, go.
Yeah, I always say that really in 2023, it's just like a website, just like a telephone in your office. I mean, it's that important that you need to have some type of presence on social media, because that's where people are spending their time. When they go online, they're spending most of their time on social media. So if they want to contact you and they want to do it through Facebook or do it through Instagram, they're going to look you up. They're going to see if you're there. And if your last post was 2 years ago, you think they're going to send you a message, right? They're going to know nobody's watching the page. They're going to know you're not you're not actively doing anything on social media. So it's a channel that you can use to connect and engage with potential patients. And if you're not there, you could be missing that opportunity.
And I'm going to piggyback on that. It's more than just having a page. You actually have to do something. I know nobody wants to. I know, but nobody has any time, but you have to. You literally have to be publishing content on an ongoing basis. Ongoing basis is not once a month. It's not once a week. It's like a few times a week. You need to be publishing content so that you stay, relevant, basically.
Yeah, for the startup, I always struggle a little bit with coaching them on how, because they haven't even opened yet. Let's back up, because Adrian, you're 100% right from everything that I've heard about how you have to stay engaged and have good content. It's got to be regular, and you got to really put a lot of TLC into that effort. But let's back up, because the startup isn't even open yet. So I'm talking to folks about branding, getting a domain, getting a website going, all this stuff. Yeah. And then they're like, oh my gosh, we also have to. And so like as a startup, I'm imagining a patient and they're looking for a dentist, and you're a brand new startup. Like I always say, you got to get like a foundation up as a startup, even though you're not even open. Yeah. Am I coaching people right?
No, you're right. You know what's funny? This kind of came to mind. Just down the street, there's a Wendy's that closed down, and they're putting in a new, like a drink shop, or I don't know what it is. It's like it's called like Bites and Brew or something like that. I don't know. And they just put up a banner with the logo on it, and in this old Wendy's. And the first thing that I thought to do to see what that place was to search them on Instagram. When I saw that banner, I saw that name, I said, what is this going to be? Like, I want to know a little bit more about the details. And so I went to Instagram to look if they were there, right? Yeah. I mean, most of the time, a new business, a new startup might not have their website completely finished at the beginning, right? That takes a little bit of time. But how fast can you get on Instagram and at least start branding, like you said, and starting to let people know that you are going to be here, right?
You can do that immediately.
Yeah.
And by the way, if they're next level client, their website's absolutely going to be up when they open. But to your point,
even better.
But
even at the same time, the URL, they may not know. I mean, hopefully they put the URL maybe on the banner, right? But it's maybe harder to find a URL when they could just search the name of the business on Instagram. Right.
Yeah. So you've got somebody that's driving by, you see the banner sign, and I always get a banner sign up for other startups saying amazing dentist coming soon. And then when we get closer, it's, hey, accepting new patients, like changing out and letting that traffic know, right? But
Yep.
but you're right. The website's usually not up. I would like a landing page at very minimum. But you're right. Social media can be the story before we're even up and running. And so, what do you think? Like they should have like at least 9 tiles up or more before they even open. I mean, any tips there about how and what kind of content? Like any ideas of content before they even open, because they don't even know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a good idea to have, 6 to 9 posts on the grid, which the tiles, kind of like you said.
I'm an idiot.
on
I said
Instagram.
tiles. It's is it tile?
I understood tiles, the grid.
Okay, the grid. Got it.
But also, I think people look to social media for up-to-date current content, right? Just like you would look for a news story. So the great thing about social is that you can start posting stories. The dentist can go in front of the office and say, hey, look, we're building it out. Look how cool this waiting area is going to be, and can go live or do a story. And it's that real authentic content that I think people like to see. A website is awesome, but sometimes websites can be a little too perfect, right? It looks like it's a great picture of the doctor, the great picture of the team. But what's great about social is that you could really be authentic with your audience, and they can really get to know you and your personality through the stories and videos.
I love that. What would you say to a doc that just isn't camera ready or doesn't have much experience? And I think that's where you guys do an amazing job, by the way, because it's that natural camera ready person, which is very, very few of my clients. Definitely some clients that just crush, and it's just natural for them.
Yeah.
But I would say that's probably 10% of my clients. So that's probably a good reflection of the market out there. 10%, maybe it's 5% probably, that are actually camera ready, comfortable. I remember the first time I did a podcast, let alone a reel or whatever. And I'm like, oh, this looks stupid. I don't even know what I'm saying right now. Right. And so any tips on how to, even if they suck at it, they still need to do it, because you can always archive. Right. So
Totally.
What do you tell your clients? What are you telling your clients?
I would say probably all 3 of us, when we first started getting on camera, it was awkward. It's hard. It's uncomfortable. For most dentists that I speak to, it's the same. It's hard. It's hard to turn the front-facing camera on and just start speaking to the camera.
So
right?
It is.
And I know this is probably super cliche, but it's just doing it, starting and practicing. And I think, and one thing with dentists, we're working with a lot of perfectionists. It's just dentists and orthodontists. It's just part of their nature. They're perfectionists. And so it's hard to film something where they maybe are stumbling over their words and then go live with that and push it out. But they have found in studies, when it comes to brands, that's the type of content actually people like.
I know. When you're screwing up, people are more interested.
Yeah.
It's so true. That's a great.
It feels authentic. It feels real. It's, don't feel like you have to keep doing a take over and over again. Just speak from your heart, like you're speaking to your patient. And if it takes longer at first, you'll get better, but it's okay to mess up. I think that's probably the biggest key there.
Adrian,
you can also, I don't know at what point in the ramp up period for launching a new practice is, but at some point they got to hire some people or have some people ready to be hired. Yeah. And there's always somebody in the practice that freaking just thrives on social media. So you can always lean on an employee or your partner or somebody else that's like, yeah, I'll shoot videos. Yeah, there's always a way to get it done.
This is totally true. Like your team, like once you get your dental assistants in, your front office, there usually is someone that really does dig that. I try to help people get systems set up for that. Like, where are you going to take it? Where are you going to save it? Where are we going to, everybody make sure you're taking pictures, put it in this folder. Yeah. What's the schedule, right? But now we're kind of getting into what my social practice does. So guys, you're it's okay. You can talk about my practice and and how you guys do what you do. And it's okay to tell the audience how you help with this. So let me try to lead you to that. How do you guys take this beast for the other 95% of folks that just are not good at it? How do you guys help with that? Like, is it like, walk us through kind of a little bit of that?
I can give you a few, you fill in where I miss, Blake. But one of the things that people need is they just need to know what's trending. What's the idea, right? It's like coming up with the idea. And then once they have the idea, the game's over. You got it. So what we do, one of the things that we do, because dentists and dental teams literally don't have the time to look and find the idea that would work, is we have an actual team of people that are just freaking scouring the web looking for ideas that would be dental related or could be tweaked into a dental idea, right? Okay. Then we send that out every week. We're sending this. Well, actually, we put it we host it on a site. It's called the Academy, and our clients log in. They're like, "Oh shit, let's do this idea," So
that's cool.
So we're like trending ideas is like constant. Like do this idea, and that fits with how social media works, which is it's a short term. It's not a long. You create content today, it's gone next week.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, what's the idea? We just got to always be doing a fun idea. So that's one thing. Mm-hmm. We also want them to have a culture and help them to have a culture that facilitates doing this, right? Like you have to have a lively, energetic, inviting, transparent, honest culture to do social media.
Totally.
Who doesn't want to have that culture, right? So if you're like you got policies in place that don't invite this, then you don't have the right culture to be on social media. Like if you're like, I don't want anybody to know anything about me because I'm worried they're going to know something about me and they're going to talk bad about me online, or somebody's going to find like that person it's like they got to like change their personality or it's not going to work. So we try and like create a culture or encourage them to create a culture that will facilitate the ideas.
I think that's huge because it is the idea, Adrian. You literally have the definition of a think tank working for you guys to help your clients come up with creative ideas. And so they take the ideas and then it's on them to reproduce. But the idea, you're right, is the hardest. Yeah. That's the hardest part. I always get, what am I supposed to post?
Yeah. What are you supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do?
So a lot of the ideas. So in our service, we actually provide, there's a lot of things that we provide. We'll probably hit several of them, but when I'm talking about trending ideas, I'm mostly talking about like video ideas, like stuff that we can't do for our clients. Right? If you have to do a video idea that requires, a clip from an audio track and you have to shoot it and then put the audio track over it, like we don't fly a freaking team across the country to go make that happen. All the tools are on their phone. We just got to give them the idea. They got to shoot it. And what we can do, other than giving them the ideas, that we can take care of all the other stuff. Like if they don't want to post it, if they don't want to respond to comments, if they want to hand off all that stuff, we have a team that does that, right? But in terms of trending ideas, most trending ideas today are video ideas, and those have to be shot by the team.
I get that. Okay. Of course, because then it's authentic, it's genuine, it's unscripted, which is, I get all the time that people love the podcast because it's totally unscripted. Yeah, you know the difference when you're listening to a podcast that's scripted.
Oh yeah.
It's like
the other aspect about this, the other aspect that most dental practices either don't have the time or they don't have the skill is graphic design. So you can shoot lots of photos and just post photos and stuff like that. But there is an aspect of social media where when you look at a feed, somebody's social media, Facebook page, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, it should look nice. It shouldn't be like an up close, slightly out of focus, like before and after photo, and then some weird shot of somebody standing in a park, and then, a shot of the park, like all weird stuff, right?
If you want a good example of that, go to Next Level's Facebook page. And no, I'm being dead serious. If you go to Instagram, NX Level Consultants, and you
I'll go right
scroll
now.
up, go to the old ones,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
it's just a bunch of pictures, which
Is it you standing in a park?
probably yes, but then as you get up to the newest, we actually hired someone to make us look a little bit more
To make you look good.
So if you're trying to get this idea, like, go to Next Level, not what to do,
there you go.
What to do. Exactly.
So what we've done is we've added a portion of our service where a practice snaps a photo at lunch.
Yeah.
And they just send it to us. We design it.
Yeah.
Make sure it's in, if it's
on
shaped
point,
right, it's not
brand on point.
It's like, if it's out of focus, or like, send us a different photo. This is out of focus. We brand it. We put their colors on it.
Love it.
And we'll post it for
them. Exactly like what you're doing. That looks great.
It looks way better.
It's a consistent brand.
But Blake, go down. This is what not to do, right? For the YouTubers out there.
Just kind of some random stuff. I mean,
random shit. Exactly. Yeah. So Adrian's exactly right. There's company, and then there's personal. I guess personal even should be if you're trying to be an influencer, but yeah. I like that because there's a strategy about the professionalism, brand on point.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
And I'll say something to that, what you just mentioned, being an influencer. There's a difference between creating a personal brand for yourself and trying to be an influencer in the dental space from just creating a good brand for your office. So all of our clients, it's mostly, private practices that we work with. We encourage them, you need to have a good brand for your practice. And that includes everything that Adrian said, branded posts, a consistent feel, a little, adding personal photos and videos in the mix of that look and feel. But then there's a whole different strategy of trying to be an influencer and building your personal brand that involves more of the front-facing camera so people can know your personality as a dentist, what your expertise is. That's a whole different strategy than just posting things about your team and the culture of your practice. So I just wanted to make sure to differentiate that.
Adrian got something.
I'm piggyback. I just had another idea. I got lots of ideas. Most of them are just junk. But
are you part of that think tank that we were talking about? Are you like?
No, I'm not. I was not hired for that. They wouldn't hire me, frankly, because I'm not that creative. There's a good we talk about types of content. So if you're asking like the question, like, well, what do I post?
Yeah.
Here's a good model. A third of your content should be about your team, you and your team.
Okay.
You can shoot those photos and those videos anytime, any place, anywhere that you want to. About a third should be about your patients.
Yeah.
Okay? And this is general rule.
Okay.
Having photos of patients, like
a third.
Videos of patients and videos of patients is a big freaking deal because people reshare that content.
Right.
And then the third should be dental information content stuff. It's not 80% about dentistry. No one gives a shit about dentistry.
It's so true. Unless you're a prosthodontist and that's what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. The community does not care about dentistry. They care about the team.
Yeah.
They care about the dentist. They care about the
patient experience.
It's so true. But guys, at the same time though, like the audience knows dentistry. So that's what they're comfortable with. So that's the stuff they're producing because they're the most comfortable getting in front of a camera and saying, well, I'm going to talk about how to floss your teeth today. Right. Like that's what they're comfortable talking about. But I like that you guys give them ideas for things to talk or to do. That's cool.
Right.
All right. Where else do we want to take this? Because I think this is already really good stuff. And I just actually came up with an idea as we've been talking. As a giveaway, if you guys are up for this, and you don't have to be, but now you kind of have to because I'm putting you on the stage. We should give them, because this isn't a huge give, but this is a give. We should give them what your top 5 posts should be as a startup, because that is just like the foundation stuff that we were talking about. Like Adrian was talking about, you have to continue that, and you have to keep thinking about what's trending and the ideas. And that's really, in my opinion, your biggest value. But all the startups don't know how do I start? What do I start? Like top 5 ideas of how to get your grid going, and buy my social practice, but they have to talk to you guys first. So if you guys are up for that big give, that might be an idea.
I like
Well,
it.
here's what we can do. We have this academy. In the academy, we dump all this new content, ideas, training, support, like the trending ideas that I talked about, we put in this academy.
Okay.
Give anybody a 30-day free access to it. You can just jump in there and grab everything you want. Okay.
That's cool.
So yeah, we can do that. Blake, you might want to find a QR code you can hold up or something like that, or we can give you.
No, I'll post it below, or a link. Okay. Yeah, it'll be in the descriptions, folks.
Yeah, we'll give you a little landing page that has a form on it. You can just fill out the form, and then we'll give you access.
All right, I want to take this to SEO now, because
I'm the SEO guy here.
Okay, Adrian's gonna take over.
Ask Adrian these questions.
Blake, you can go ahead and log off.
Yeah, I'll just hide my camera.
Hey, man. Thanks for showing up.
SEO. Okay, so to me, one thing that I accidentally found out about was the more stuff I did on social, which, by the way, the podcast, right? All that, the funnel, the better my SEO was. I didn't even know that's what was happening. I just started doing this stuff. I was bored during COVID. And next thing you know, you search dental startup coach, and we're number 1. And it's all the activity. So dentists, you guys need to learn from that tip is if you get serious about posting content, you will rise to the top. Am I smoking something here, Adrian, or is that true?
You're smoking pot, but you're right.
I do live in Washington. I don't smoke pot, but it's totally legal here.
Yeah. No, that's a signal. It's a social signal. Any kind of an engagement on content that you're publishing, the amount of content you're publishing, and what you're linking to helps your content in social media to be shared more to a wider audience. You get more impressions, but it feeds back into the search algorithms that Google, mostly Google, Yahoo, and Bing use to help you rank higher. Yeah.
So walk me through that. So you're posting content, and I know I don't know a lot, but I know a little bit. People are searching for things, searching for Invisalign, perio, whatever it is. If you're searching for something and you do a lot of content on that thing and you're writing good descriptions, I'm assuming that's getting picked up. Yeah.
So no, it's all getting picked up. The question is what's actually going to show up in search. So patients searching for root canal near me, let's say, right? What could happen is when they search root canal near me and a bunch of dentists show up in the map, some dentist websites show up, but then there's a Facebook page that shows up potentially.
Yes.
Right. Because the Facebook page is from an endodontist that focuses on root canals, and tons of the content is about root canals. So your social media accounts can then show up in search, right?
Like a second website.
Like a second website, right? But those also support, Google looks through to all the links on your website to your social media accounts and social media accounts and back, which is really important that you connect your website with all your social media accounts. Have the icons on there, connect back, that all the linking is easily accessible, right?
And back the other way too.
Yeah, both ways.
Social back to Yep.
So the social media accounts support the activity, or I should say support the algorithm and the weightiness. In Google's algorithm, there's a principle called prominence, which is a suggestion to look at like one particular dental practice versus another dental practice. And prominence has to do with kind of the weight. Like, is it just one website that doesn't link anywhere versus another website that has 3 social media accounts that have 500 followers apiece? They've got a blog, they've got stuff written about them.
Got it.
Like, Google doesn't have any idea how valuable a dental practice's services are. They don't see that you're a good clinician, They can't tell. The way that they tell is through links primarily. How much link traffic do you have coming into your website and vice versa? So the social media accounts play as part of that prominence factor.
Okay, so what we're talking about, dummy it down for Dinsio, DDD, dummy down Dinsio here. What we're talking about here is organic stuff, so stuff that we're not even having to pay for.
Yeah.
The more stuff, which you pay for in time. Time is cost,
labor costs and time and energy.
Cost of doing all that stuff, right? And posting it and putting all that time into it, so there's a cost there for sure. But you haven't sponsored anything. You're not advertising. This is just pure advertising. Yeah, total organic. And these guys will help you come up with great organic stuff. There's a cost to that, but it's consistent, which is the key. We already covered that, right? That next week nobody cares. So right. And so that's the key. I love that.
One thing sorry, I'm sorry. Cut you off. One thing I was just going to mention too, with that consistent content and posting, one thing probably Adrian was going to talk about, but your Google business profile and adding information on a consistent basis to your Google business profile will help you rank organically in the map section. Which is, you can actually do posts to your Google business profile. You can do updates.
You can treat it like a social media account.
Yeah. It's kind of like a social media account. So just like you're saying, to post to Instagram and Facebook and do all of this and getting followers, that's great for those social signals to help you rank organically as your website. But if you actually want, and it will help you in your maps too, but there's ways to post to your Google business profile and add information in there that will help you rank higher in the map section, which is one of the most important places that you can rank.
There's just so much.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here to help you.
But Michael, here's how it works though. Here's how it works. You make one piece of content. You shoot a TikTok video. It's a before and after TikTok video. Let's say. Okay.
back to the dentistry. A
before and after TikTok video or a patient reveal or whatever it might be. Okay. You shoot that video. Now you've got a TikTok video. It means you have a TikTok account and you got some content on TikTok. You take that and you repost it to Instagram Reels. You can do that, right, Blake?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So now you got the same piece of content on Instagram Reels. You can publish it to Facebook. So there's 3 places. Then your website, you have a before and after page. The video goes on your website.
So recycle.
5, you post it to Google Business Profile. Now you got it published. So all you have to do is get the damn video shot. If you do that, then we have a piece of software where you can load it in there and it'll shoot it to everything.
Yeah, repurpose it.
It's like shoot the freaking video.
Now,
put it right here. It goes everywhere.
Okay, let's take this to the next level. Can't do
next level. Next level. I got
it. Come on. Yeah, I had to. So let's take this to the next level and say, okay, so we got that one clip. Don't do it all on the same day, right? You want to sprinkle it out? Is there any weirdness going on if you do it all on the same day?
I don't think it matters.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't hurt to do it in that way. The only thing that I would say is it's a little more beneficial if you can adjust it per platform. So maybe if different platforms are a little bit different in how, like for example, Instagram. In the caption in Instagram, you can't put a link in the caption, right? So taking that video and putting it as a reel and uploading it to a story and then putting a link in the story might be a better way to do it. You kind of have to think about all the platforms that you're posting to make sure that it looks okay, that it works okay.
And that there's a call to action if there can be a call to action.
Yeah. So you can post the same content all at once, but I would just go through and just make sure everything looks okay on all your platforms.
Okay, so here we're talking about videos, which clearly are better for social. But then there's a lot of conversation, Mr. Adrian, about SEO and blogs and writing. So videos better than blogs? Do both? Comments about that?
With the intent to improve your SEO, if that's the goal? Okay, so if it's just social media followers and content, then blogging doesn't really matter to that because it's just shareable content, right?
Mhm.
But if you're talking about optimizing your blog so that you rank higher in search for organic keywords, or that your Google business profile ranks higher in the Google map, you shoot the video, the before and after video, and you write a blog post about it.
the video.
That's what it is.
Well, that's
Then so one way to do this, it depends on your intent, your strategy, right? If you really want to rank higher in Google, you use TikTok, you shoot the before and after video, you can post it to TikTok, right? But then you take the embed code from your TikTok video, you drop it in your blog, you put the video in the blog, and then you have it, you get a HIPAA consent form signed on the patient, so you don't get in trouble for all you HIPAA chondriacs out there. And
country, yes. That's a hashtag HIPAA.
Steve Anderson told me to said that on stage and
that's
patient.
Awesome. I love that.
I love it. It's not my word. I pulled that. That was somebody else's idea, but I use it as my own.
So, it's my favorite, and I'm now using it from now on. So, Adrian, I'm quoting you.
So, yeah. And what you do is now you have to get your blog, get your before and after video on the blog. You share the blog link to Facebook. You share the blog link and all your other, and on your Google business profile. So that creates the link to the article. It's the linking thing. It's the linking thing, right?
It is a mess. Folks, this is modern day marketing warfare right here. Yeah. It used to be like so much simpler, right? Like, let's just, Blake, you used to do this before all of the social stuff. You put up a website and have a brand, and that's it, right?
Throw up a billboard, send out a postcard, and you were done.
Now it's this web of stuff, and if right,
there's a lot of marketing ideas out there that companies aren't. Whatever you are, you're a dental company, you're a freaking doctor, you sell golf balls on the side of the street, whatever. That's not what you are. You're a media company. All companies are media companies because media is what drives the attention, is the marketing. The algorithms online are all built around consistent, creative, interesting media content. Yes. If you can't create media content, you're out of the game.
Yeah. And that's why, most dentists don't have the resources or the time to do that. And as much as we can teach you how to do it, and they're all great ideas, most dentists look at us after our presentation and say, there's no way I'm going to have the time to do all that you just taught. So
it's true. It's
so
true.
It's just part of what it is that you probably have to hire an agency to help you. If you really want to rank, if you really want to have success online, if you really want to get engagement and come up with great ideas, you kind of have to work with an agency in some form.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. Let's spend the last 5-ish minutes on this idea of paid versus organic, because I have a client right now spending $8,000 a month let me say that again, $8,000 a month in social ads. That's the first time I've ever had a client say, F it, I'm going for this in social media. And I'm curious how it's going to work, because he's chosen to not go print, not go pay-per-click, not go anything else, and just go all in on social. What are your guys' thoughts about that, and or just paid social in general? That's a big mystery even to me, and I'm sure my listeners as well.
Okay, Blake, you want to say something before I go off?
You go first, and I'll fill in. Yeah.
Oh boy,
because we have some.
So in the last political cycle, Facebook's targeting algorithm got just plowed. Like, it's so milk toasty now.
What's that mean? What do you mean?
Like, you used to be able to say, I want to send an ad to women between 30 and 35 years old within a 10-mile radius and an income level of this. And
so dialed.
Likes this company, that's following this company. And you find like 250 people and you run an ad directly to them. You can't do that anymore.
Well,
That was really effective, right?
That's cool. Yeah.
Right. They can't do it because the privacy laws and the privacy, big brother and all that kind of stuff, whatever you want to say, come down and kind of like wiped out the targeting capabilities of most social media paid advertising.
Okay.
So it's a little bit skittish right now. We used to spend a lot of money on paid advertising to attract dentists to our company. We don't do any paid advertising right now. None.
Currently, none.
We do all organic. Because the cost became so exorbitant to generate a lead compared to what we used to be doing that it just became ridiculous.
Got it.
Now,
Got it.
that's not to say that paid advertising isn't good.
Yeah, because you could do a mailer and just blanket or pay per click, which blankets, it's kind of the same now. Whereas before you could, whoa, getting excited. Where before you could get micro.
Right. So here's the only way that I've seen paid advertising work effectively, consistently over lots of different clients. They have to be advertising a very profitable service. You can't advertise for new patients. You can't advertise teeth whitening. You can't, like, all that stuff that's just like entry level, low dollar stuff. You just get wiped out in the advertising costs. So the only time I've seen it work well is if you're shooting for dental implant patients,
Invisalign, let's say clear aligner. Let's say clear aligner.
Excuse me, clear aligners.
Clear aligner. Invisalign doesn't own the world of clear aligners.
I don't even know who they are. I can't even believe that. I just had a note on the side of my wall. It said Invisalign. I just set it out of my
Yeah. Okay. So
clear aligners.
So big ticket stuff.
Big ticket stuff because
it's worth it.
Cost. And you got to spend thousands of dollars a month to do it. So this gentleman or lady that spent $8,000 a month is, if they're going after implant and clear aligner clients, they might be able to make some money. But the problem is, as soon as you turn that freaking budget off, it's over. Like you get nothing.
Yeah.
You got to make money on the budget spend then.
And the sales process. Now you're starting to get next consultant. Oh boy, consultant hat coming out. Now you have to really sell the patient when they walk through the door.
Yeah, you got to close the deal.
You got to close, and half our clients don't know how to do that part. So,
and with the advertising too, I'd say the $8,000 budget, is that just for the reach of the ad, or is that also paying an agency to create? Because there's a budget,
and how much, right?
Yeah, there's a budget you have to also allocate for an agency to switch up the ads on a constant basis, because if an ad goes for a certain amount of time, it gets old, and you have to put new creative in there and try new strategies. And so there's an additional fee, usually probably a couple $1,000s a month, to work with an agency. So it's for, again, it might work, but it is definitely for those practices that are willing to put quite a bit of money into it.
Yeah. If a dentist comes up and they say, I have $1,000 a month, I want to do paid advertising, you just say, go find somebody else that's going to fail. Okay. Don't make us fail for you. It's just not going to work. There's just not enough money. You have to really pay into it.
Yeah.
Guys, you crushed this episode. You gave us such good content and information. Folks, I hope you were making notes, and I hope you learn from this and take whatever you can take away from it. Take away, even if you could apply just 10% of what we talked about, you'll be better than not doing anything. And so I think this was a blessing. Thank you, Blake, Adrian. Is there anything that you would like to say or whatever before we shut this bad boy down? We are going to put your contact information below and in the descriptions and all that stuff. I'd love to collaborate on the first 5 posts to get you going, because most of these people, my clients, they just don't even know where to start. So just give them 5 ideas of what your grid should look like in your first 6. Maybe it's the 6th grid or whatever. But any last minute comments?
I love that. We'd be happy to give you those 5 ideas that Michael mentioned. We also have a number of different webinars we've done that I think would be great for startups specifically. One that's about collaborating with local businesses to help grow your following. I think that's a huge strategy for startups. That's what I would do if I were to start. I would reach out to local businesses that already have a following and start working with them and collaborating with them. And then there's a whole other discussion about influencer marketing. I know a practice locally here, a startup that basically built his whole practice on influencer marketing.
Wow.
Didn't spend really any money, just brought in influencers and grew very rapidly. So there's a whole strategy behind that too. So any startups that want to reach out to us, and I'd be happy to share some links of some webinars I've done around that.
Dude, that we didn't even touch, and there's so much right there.
Yeah.
That's what's amazing about social and like just digital marketing is there are so many angles that I don't think folks really realize, and you just hit a couple different things that we've been talking about. So it's a beast. It's a freaking beast. Okay, cool, guys. Thank you for your time. You gave it to me. Thank you for giving your energy and knowledge and acumen to my listeners. And folks, if you don't reach out to them and learn something about what you're trying to do and how to do this, I think you'd be crazy. So thanks again, guys, for the time.
Thanks for having us, Michael. Thank you.